Okay, so this is quite a good problem. We need to approach this problem step by step, and if we do that, then we are heading towards a very interesting problem. Okay, so first let's see what is happening. A boat competition or just a boat competition is going on, and let's say a boat goes 30 kilometer upstream and 44 kilometer downstream in 10 hours. Okay, so in 10 hours the boat goes 30 kilometer upstream, 44 kilometer downstream, whereas in 13 hours it can go 40 kilometer upstream and 55 kilometer downstream. Okay, determine the speed of the stream and that of the boat in still water. Okay, so first let us identify our variable. There are two variables here, speed of the stream and that of the boat in still water. So let's say speed of our boat in still water. Let's say if the water is just still, then the speed of water is x. Speed of boat in still water is x. And now let us say we assume that the speed of stream, that of the water flow speed of stream, is equal to y, and both of them are in kilometer per hour, kilometer per hour. Now, what happens when the boat is going downstream? So when you are riding the boat and you are going downstream, so the velocity of the stream gets added to you, and the downstream speed becomes x, what is in your normal still water, plus if you have the flow of stream as well, so you both of them are in the same direction, so they get added up, kilometer per hour. So your downstream speed becomes x plus y kilometer per hour. Now during the upstream, so when you are going upstream against the flow of water, so let's say you are going this direction, whereas the flow of water is in the other direction. So you are going with x, the water is flowing with y, then your speed becomes x minus y kilometer per hour. Okay, so we get our downstream speed, we get our upstream speed. Now, what does it says? A boat goes 30 kilometer upstream. So how much time do we need to go 30 kilometer upstream? So time is distance we need to travel divided by speed. So let's say we have some kilometers to travel and we are traveling at some kilometer per hour. Then we get, if we divide the distance we need by the speed, we get hour, we get time. So the first thing that we have here is a boat goes 30 kilometer upstream. 30 kilometer upstream. So the time taken for 30 kilometer upstream will be 30 divided by speed, upstream speed. So it will be 30 by x minus y. So this is our upstream. Time taken for 30 kilometer upstream. Now time taken for 44 kilometer downstream. What will it be? We have distance 44 kilometer and downstream the speed is x plus y. Okay, and together t1 plus t2 is equal to 10 hours. So together this is equal to 10. Therefore the first equation that we get is 30 divided by x minus y plus 44 divided by x plus y is equal to 10. This is our equation 1. Now for equation for the other part, in 13 hours it can go 40 kilometer upstream. Let's say this time as t3. So t3 will be 40 kilometer upstream. So 40 kilometer divided by speed during upstream, x minus y. Similarly, T4, what do we have? 55 kilometer downstream. So 55 divided by speed during the downstream. So what is the speed during downstream? X plus y. And now we have the total time, 40 times x, 40 by x minus y plus 55 divided by x plus y is equal to 13 hours. This is our equation 2. Okay. Now there is nothing much left. So now we have two equations here. They don't directly look like linear equations, but we can see that the variable here is x minus y, the variable here is 1 by x minus y, the variable here is 1 by x minus y. Here also we have 1 by x minus y, here we have 1 by x plus y, here also we have 1 by x plus y. So let's say what we do is 1 by x minus y, something at p, and 1 by x plus y as q. So the equation modifies to 30p plus 44q is equal to 10. Let's say this is equation 3, and this equation modifies itself to 40p plus 55q is equal to 13. So we are in familiar terrain now. We have two linear equations in its standard form, and we just need to solve for p and q. So let's say we use our knowledge of cross multiplication method here. 30p plus 44q minus 10 is equal to 0. 40p plus 55q minus 13 is equal to 0. So according to our knowledge of cross multiplication, we start by p divided by 44 times minus 13, 44 multiplied by minus 13 minus 55 multiplied by minus 10. This will be here. This is equal to q divided by minus 10 times 40 minus 13 times 30. This is equal to this, and this will be equal to 1 divided by 30 times 55 minus 40 times 44. So if we solve for this, we get p divided by minus 22 is equal to q divided by minus 10 is equal to 1 divided by minus 110, which then in next step we get p as 1 by 5 and q as 1 by 11. Okay, so now we just go back above a bit. We have 1 by x minus y as p, 1 by x plus y as q. So we have from above 1 by x minus y as p. Therefore, this implies x minus y is equal to 1 by p, which will be 5. Similarly, we have 1 by x plus y as q. Therefore, x plus y will be 1 by q, which is 11. Okay, so we have again a pair of linear equations for x and y. So in order to find it, we simply add it. Adding it gives us x 2x. This gets cancelled out. Is equal to 16. So x is equal to 8. And substituting 8 back here, we get y as 3. Let us quickly check if it makes sense. We got x as 8 kilometer per hour and y as 3. Okay, so in order to check, what we need to do is, let us first check this thing. A boat goes 30 kilometer upstream. So the speed in the upstream will be x minus y. 8 minus 3, 5 kilometer per hour. And in the downstream, the speed will be 11 kilometer per hour. So if the boat goes 44 kilometer downstream, the time taken will be 44 by 11, 3. And for upstream 30 kilometer, the time will be 30 by 5, 6. So 30 by 5, 6 plus 44 by 11, 4. 6 plus 4, 10 hours. Makes sense. This one is correct. For here we have 40 kilometer upstream. So 40 divided by 5, 8. 8 hours for upstream, and 55 by 11, 5. 8 plus 5, 13 hours. So this makes sense as well. Okay, let us once review this question. How did we solve it? So we have got our answer as the speed of boat in still water is 8 km per hour and speed of stream is 3 km per hour. Let us have a review for this question. So we started with the unknown. We needed to determine what is the speed of the stream. So we set it as, let's say, y km per hour, the speed of boat in still water as x. Now the first thing we need to realize is when you go downstream, the speed of stream adds to still water. So the downstream speed will be x plus y. It gets added to what is your speed in still water. Whereas when you go upstream, the water flow is against you. So the final speed that you will have going upstream will be x minus y kilometer per hour. Now, the second thing that we have here is we need, in the first situation it is 30 kilometer upstream. So how much time will it take to go 30 kilometer upstream? So it will be distance divided by speed. So we have distance 30 kilometer to travel and the speed is x minus y. So the time for upstream will be 30 by x minus y. Similarly, for 44 kilometer downstream, we have 44 kilometer to travel. The speed downstream is x plus y. So the downstream speed will be 44 by x plus y. So the total time for this first part will be 30 divided by x minus y plus 44 divided by x plus y. That will be equal to 10. So this was our equation 1. Now similarly for the second part, 40 kilometer upstream, the time will be 40 by x minus y plus 55 divided by downstream speed x plus y, and this should be equal to 13. So this is how we arrived at our two equations, 30 by x minus y plus 44 by x plus y equal to 10, and this equation. So now what we can observe is the variables are the same in both the cases. So we say it as 1 by x minus y as p and 1 by x plus y as q, and then it gets reduced to its standard linear equation form. Then we used our knowledge of cross multiplication method to solve it. We solved it for p and q, and then again we substituted back, and then again we got a pair of linear equation in x and y, and we simply solved it using elimination method to get the final values of x and y. So this was a very beautiful question where we used our elimination method, cross multiplication method, and in the beginning how to get from a question with many different words. So these are the questions that you get in real life. You don't get something like x plus y or x minus y. You get something like this, and then from this you need to come down to this. So this is a very important skill, and you just need to practice it. With more and more practice, you will develop a certain methodology in your brain to think about how to approach these kinds of questions. And then if you go step by step in these kinds of questions, you will be able to reach a very nice solution. Thank you.